Welcome to the Align Life podcast by yours truly, Dr. Tiffany. How about we get out that magnifying glass and look at every part of your life, the awesome, the suck, and everything in between. There's so much beauty in you. Stop being afraid of what isn't good enough and let's double down on what is together. It's about your truth and your life, aligned. Hey, welcome back to the Align Life podcast. This is Dr. Tiffany. Today is one of my favorite topics ever, goal setting. And I have a different way of doing it. So I want to marry the linear piece of goal setting, the tactical, with the energetic piece, with the purpose piece, with the human side of you, so that you can actually achieve something. Because let's get real, we're stuck and we get trapped and we get in the same old, and our goals continue to be the same things. It would be really nice to fit into my size 14 jeans. It would be really great to go to the gym again. How am I going to do that? I'm so busy. I work, I have kids, I have a family, and then we go. And now, because I talk about the drama being in the how, in the details, now we just blocked ourselves from creating a plan. So I want to come back, rewind a bit. We're going to come back and talk about how do we actually do it? And then we can mix in some of these X factors that you will know if you're out of alignment with it. When I created the Align Life from podcasting, free content, academy training, courses, group coaching, mastermind, it's all about putting it all together. And there is no goal that you will reach that you aren't aligned with. And I believe that's where the universe, that's where God, that's where there's a higher power that helps us see, like, yeah, that might not have been your path. You may have really wanted it, but I just helped pivot a bit so that now your GoPro light on your head can shift a little bit down a different path. And now we can start to create metrics that we can hit, that we know what we're supposed to do every day and every week and every month and every quarter and every year. Now, this could be used for your quarterly planning. It could be used for your annual planning. I do a lot more in my training with my people on annual planning because I believe there's levels of goals that are important to be clear about. We have one bare ass minimum goal. Like, this is, I got to get this stuff done this week, this quarter, this year. Then there's the good. I would give myself a pat on the back and we'd be making headway. We would be progressing towards something. And then that third one is kick ass. So we got bare ass minimum, we got good, and then we have kick ass. And that one, as we know, is really close to that, what would be crazy list. And if you haven't heard me talk about it, I have it somewhere. We'll post something on this. It is really important to change your subconscious patterns to what you can't even conceive. Because when you start to create towards what you can't even conceive to be true, you totally changed your neural patterning. You totally change your brain. Compared to, I'm going to work out every day and I want to meditate every day and I really want to add yoga in. Can you see the difference? It takes not much additional input into that brain. It doesn't take much pattern change. It doesn't disrupt the behavior, the thoughts, the actions in order to achieve what you want to achieve, to do the same things that you just got done doing. That doesn't mean that working out every day shouldn't be a goal. But if you've been consistent with it, that shouldn't be part of your output and inputs that we're going to talk about. Okay. So what I want you to think about is, the main areas of life, we got health, wealth, relationships, career, and purpose. I think those are the main areas of life. They can be broken down to many different things, right? In health, it is exercise. In fitness, maybe you're having health challenges. Let me tell you, sidebar, we aren't able to accomplish what we need to accomplish if we don't have our health, folks. It does not matter. Adrenaline can only get you so far. It will continue to push you. You need the pull. You need the healing. You need self-care. You need your body to be connected to your brain and that to be working for you, not against you. Okay. And so I have a lot of experience in pushing away from focusing on my health, and I accomplish a lot. But there does come a time that I'm not able to go any further until I step back, figure out what needs to heal now in my health, in my body, in my mindset in order to go forward. Wealth, think of money, obviously. We think of investing. And then we think about that in relation to all of our relationships. What is our marriage like with that? How is our money mindset? Where did you come from? What do I need to heal so that I don't continue to live in that and then parent like that? Your relationships, so your marriage, your kids, your parents, your siblings, your family unit, your friends. There's a lot of people that talk about you become the 5 people that you spend the most time with and that you are around the most. You become that in every way, shape, or form. And it's totally true. I would pick them wisely. Your career. Is it what you want? Is it your dream? Is it your soul? How much stress is in there? Do you want to climb the ladder? Do you want to start a side gig? Do you want to start a nonprofit? Do you want to start a charity? Do you want to start a foundation? Where can you find joy? What do you need in management in your career, in leadership? What skills do you need to learn to continue to get better? Or are you just clocking in and clocking out? I tell you what, I may challenge you on this, but that's not what we're meant to do. That's not who we're meant to be. We're not meant to clock in and clock out, collect our paycheck, yet be so freaking miserable because there isn't much joy. Although that might not be your highest value, everything you do, we want to get to the point that every single thing you do lights you up. Otherwise, it holds you back. It's like the anchor on your ankles in the lake. You're not going to make it. Unhook the anchor. Figure out what that is, where that is, and your purpose. 5th main category of life is your purpose. Are you who you're destined to be? Like, are you who you were put on this earth to be? Are you making the impact? Are you living a legacy? Are you creating hope? Are you creating transformations? Are you helping people? Are you there? So when you think of goals, I just want you to think about all of the goals that you could write down. And consciously, our left brain, the logic, the linear, all right, we need to do our goals. You're going to sit down and write the same things. I highly suggest to do a breathing exercise, a meditation, something that goes with this that can shift out of linear and logical, shift out of what you've always done, shift out of what is normal and into what is possible. So when I talk about goals, when I lead on goals, when I teach on goals, they're broken up into 2 parts, input and an output. And I got really clear with this from my mentors 3 or 4 years ago. And I started being a ninja at goal setting and goal achieving. Before then, it was willy-nilly. It was like, oh my gosh, I really want to do this, but I did not plan for it. I didn't have a yes-no list. I didn't figure out what I really wanted. I didn't think about what skills I needed to acquire in order to achieve these goals. I do now. So we have an input and output. The input is what you do, and the output is the goal. So the input is what is measurable. Now, when we set our goals, this is one of the first, well, probably the first mistake we make is we consider our goals the output and we stop there. We don't break it down. So if your output is to lose 15 pounds, okay, I'm going to take the annoying goal. Sorry. If your output is to lose 15 pounds, you need to have 3 to 5 inputs that you do every day or every week to match how you're going to get there. Now, this podcast will come at a time you can plan your quarter. You can do this exercise anytime. You can have up to as many goals as you want. I suggest starting with 3 to 5 goals, which is 3 to 5 outputs, and then 3 to 5 inputs for each of these. Those inputs are the actions that you take every single day. So when you're looking at, I'm going to lose 15 pounds, how are we going to do that? Well, from a health provider, I would say first and most important is to look at your food. So what is your schedule? Are you loaded on gluten and sugar and dairy and sweeteners and, all the things that aren't real? I would really take a look at what you can do for meal planning. How are you actually going to do it? Because if you've failed for 30 years to do it, saying you're going to do it now is not going to work. You need to do something totally different in your mind so that your behaviors follow. So what are those things? What do you know? You guys, it's not about exercising every day and eating more fruits or more vegetables. It's the stuff that you know are the biggest triggers. Sitting and watching Netflix all day because you're half depressed because you don't like your job and you're struggling in your marriage. Hello, we have some things to work on the 15-pound goal, okay? How about we work for 12 to 15 hours a day and we don't eat at all until 7 o'clock when we come home, and then we're starving, so we eat from 7 to 10 while watching Netflix. How is that going to affect how to lose your 15 pounds? How about the stress hormones? How much sleep are you getting? How many medications are you on in order to get to that goal? So guys, it's not exercise more and eat more vegetables. It isn't that easy. But it is easy to get to the point of saying, I need to do something different. And I know that in this life, I've been given another day, I've been given another week, I've been given another month. What do I need to do with that? And who do I need to be to get to that point? That is the key. Because when we start to identify the behavior problem, we can fix the behavior problems. So that then goes into the inputs. The inputs are find a chef, find somebody to prepare your meals, meal plan on Sunday nights, get groceries delivered on Sunday mornings and cook on Sunday nights. Follow a few people that are reputable in the space of healthy living, truly from the inside out. That is a whole different ballgame than exercise more and eat more vegetables and don't drink alcohol as much. Okay. We need to know why we're doing all the things that we're doing. So the next output is business. Let's say it's business and we want to create more sales. Okay. What do you need to do to create 25 more sales this quarter? What do you need to do to create 6 figures of income in your business this quarter? What do you need to create starting a business? So when you have this goal, it could say start a business. And the inputs need to be research. The input needs to be accountant. The input needs to be banker. When you start to make money, now you're talking about sales and marketing and possibly team. What do you need to be? What do you need to do? Who do you need to be more visible, to get out there and sell your product? It's not about sending more emails, starting your Instagram page, not nearly as much as the things that make you tremble and just about cry, like cold calling, like proclaiming, this is who I am. I am visible now. Now you know who I am and what I do. That stuff is scary. Those are different behaviors that lead to different results. So I've given you 2 examples, and I wanted to make sure I could show you a bit of what an input looks like versus an output. Now, best practices is that you create a little chart. Now, drama's in the how. Don't get all bent out of shape. Just pull out some pen and paper Monday through Sunday. You want to score yourself on if you did all of the inputs. So if you have 5 outputs, AKA 5 goals, and you have 5 inputs for each one of them, you could have 3. You could do your sales calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It might not be every single day. You do your follow-ups in between. You do your 30, 50, 100 calls those days. That means there's 25 things to check off, and that's your score. Every week on Sunday, your score is out of 25. And you track that every single week. That's easy. But it takes some time to figure out, what do I want and what do I actually want? I bet the things that you would write right away would be like the basics that you've always wanted more of: pay down debt, better relationship with my spouse, make more money, climb the ladder at work, lose 15 pounds. But why? And now, what are the behaviors that need to change so you can accomplish that? So once again, we have inputs and we have outputs. I would put this all on a sheet of paper. I'd put the sheet of paper, I'd just tape it up on my wall or on my computer screen, and I'd track it every single day. You track it every day, every week, the ones that are daily and the ones that are weekly. We underestimate what we can do in a year, and we overestimate what we can do in a day. So let's not get stuck on perfection of this, but more about progress. If you've never done this before, you start with 3 goals and you probably have 3 to 5 inputs for them, and watch what happens. Watch who you are and how that person is changing. Because when you start to have momentum and when you start to accomplish things, when you start to prove in action that you aren't just a starter and not a finisher, like, those behaviors are ingrained into our subconscious. That subconscious mind is the invisible decision maker. It will make the decisions because all it knows is what has been done already. It is based on memories. It's based on experiences. It's based on what we've already done. So the majority of our life is actually not conscious brain running the show. It's the subconscious. It just continues to do what you've always done. In order to change it, you need to change the behavior. There's a few factors, X factors, I'd say, that go into this. And I just want to talk about it briefly. Reflection is the most underestimated tool that we have in goal setting. And what I mean by that is, every month, every quarter, every year, it is absolutely, well, every day, every week, every month, quarter, year, it's imperative that you look back upon your day, you look back upon your week, and you see what was awesome, and you write out what was awesome. You also write out what totally sucked. Like, what went wrong? Did life happen? Because life is going to happen, right? We're going to have challenges that come into our life that we need to pivot for. And where are you stuck? So if you can reflect on what was awesome, what sucked, and where are you still stuck, That then paves the way for who do I need to be tomorrow? Who do I need to be next week? What does next quarter look like? If this is what happened last quarter, this is what we accomplished, this is what didn't go that well, this is where we're still stuck. What do we need to do now? How do we need to pivot to create what we want to create for the next quarter or for the next year? Reflection is highly underestimated. We are so busy in our hamster wheel. We're so busy that we don't even slate out time to do this work, number one, and then just to see if it's working. We got to be able to see if it's working. Like, you can be given a Peloton to exercise on every day. That's just a tool. Your behavior, that sounded Canadian, goodness. Your behavior, your actions, your plan, your path is the thing that matters. And then you have discipline, commitment, and persistence and perseverance. The Peloton is just a tool. So this is just a tool. It's a really great one if you use it, but it's also just a tool to get you to reflect on what you want and who you are. The second part, the X factor, is if your energy isn't right, it's not going to work. If your energy isn't aligned, I talk about alignment in so many different ways, but if it's not aligned, if it's not what should happen, and eventually that's a skill that improves with focus and working on it. If it's not aligned, it's not going to work. And you will know, you will be like the road runner into the door over and over and over and over and over. And at some point you're going to be like, holy crap, that hurts to hit the door. Like I might be concussed. I don't know if I can walk through that door. I should take a break and reflect. I should take a few steps back and see what is happening in front of me right now. That's misalignment. When things are aligned and you create a plan and you do the work, that's when achievement is massive. And then to scale that, bring in your team, because now you can have 15 outputs. You can have 25 outputs. You can have 150 outputs that happen that your team is working on because you've done the work at the mountaintop to see, this is what I want. This is what I want in my health. This is what I want in my wealth, in my relationships, my career. This is my purpose, damn it. This is the legacy I'm going to create. I need a team to do that. So you can see it has to start with you. And no matter if you're doing this for your personal side, if you're doing this for your startup business, if you have 10 businesses, do this for every one of them. And pretty soon it just becomes automated, because if the majority of your work is done on an annual basis, this is where I want to see this in 1 year. But beyond that, you've already created your vision for the next 5 years and 10 years. This is just a pit stop. This is where the rubber does meet the road. This is where you get your family on board, you get your team on board, you get re-inspired. Now, perseverance is another X factor, that it doesn't matter the tools. You can have the Peloton, you can have the weights, you can have the treadmill, you can have the TV in there to stream Netflix, you can, I don't know, whatever, a chest bench, a pull-up bar. You got to know why you want to do it, guys. And when you start to know why you want to do it, and when you start to connect that to who you need to be to do this work, that's when magic happens. That's when we get closer to our purpose. That's when your work is totally aligned with the person that you are. That's when your relationships start to flourish. That's when you start to make some cash and keep some cash. That's when your health is at a place that it has never been, because you're making decisions that are aligned to who you want to be and then what you need to do. So I hope this was helpful. There are two different views that we can look at through goal setting. It's from the mountaintop, it's the visionary, and it's the climber. And we need all of them all the time. If you're the visionary of your company, you need to work on the business more than you work in the business. You need to create this view, this vision, and communicate that to your team. If you're working on yourself personally and you're going through personal transformation, you need to see it from the mountaintop. You need to see the vision, and then everything can trickle down. I love the statement, who, not how. Because when we start going through this, drama is in the how. How am I going to do this? Oh my gosh, now I'm going to implement this, and now I have to say no to this. And if I'm going to get rid of alcohol for 30 days, like, how's my social life going to be? Do I have any friends? And all of these busy thoughts, limiting beliefs start to enter in, right? But if we pivot to who, not how, we start to think totally different. Who do I need to do this? Who do I need to be to do this? Who do I need to hire in my business to do this? Who do I need to consult with to start this nonprofit? Who needs to be in my circle so that I can do the things that I know I'm supposed to do? And if we start to live in the embodiment of we have it all, we start to look at this much different. Because in the we have it all energy, we have what we need on the inside. We don't need anything else in order to accomplish this. You start to break through that possibility barrier of what could be, and you start to actually do it. And when you start to do it, you have evidence that, yeah, you're right, Tiff. I do have everything. I needed to let go of a lot of baggage and a lot of stuff in order to trim the fat, in order to do the work. So see, goal setting is not just linear. It has to have the energetic component. There has to be alignment in every freaking single thing you do, always. Because when you're not aligned, it's not going to freaking work. Or if you're not aligned and you achieve your goal, you're like, well, that was cool. Because you didn't have a why behind it. You didn't have the meaning. You didn't have the oomph of like, oh my gosh, this is who I will be when I accomplish that. That's what goal setting is. So rock it out. I can't wait to hear what you're working on this quarter, what you're working on this year, and then how you make this a rhythm, because this shit works. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening and following the Align Life podcast with Dr. Tiffany. If you love this and can think of anyone who needs to hear about it, would you mind sharing with them? Find me online at drtiffanyjohnson.com, where you can find out more about my memberships, courses, mentoring, and any upcoming events. To learn more about chiropractic for you and your family, go to htchiro.com and follow our social pages. I can't wait to connect with you soon, and until then, be you, be aligned.